Welcome to episode 32 of the AUSNZ Community Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Looking forward to having a little bit of fun with Just Have Fun, or moi, from Jedi Phoenix later on, and to chat a little bit about HCR2 with the other hosts. Welcome, Pete, and welcome, Jack Rabbit. Pete, how have you been?
I've been really good. I've just got home from going out to dinner, so I'm happy as Larry.
Oh, as long as you don't fall asleep after eating, which is what I usually do.
No, I'll be right. I've had my coffee today, so no falling asleep this time.
No, because it's really bad while you're driving after having a hamburger on the run and falling asleep while driving. It's never good.
Yeah, no, that's never good.
Never good. No.
No.
JR, how are you?
I'm here. I made it. I'm alive and kicking.
Oh,
I was not well in the past 2 weeks.
yes.
Health issues and all that. But I've always have this. I don't know how you call it. I call it mind over matter. We
I
just
don't
keep
matter.
going. We just keep going regardless of what we're going through. So
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm talking to you. So I'm glad I'm
Excellent.
here.
Well,
Yeah.
Me
How
too.
are you? Yeah. How about you, Eva? What's keeping you busy?
Oh, gee. I have been relatively busy. I was in a wedding 2 weeks ago in Brisbane, so I flew up to Brisbane for a wedding. That was a whole lot of fun. Lots of dancing, lots of even with a camera in my hand, I was dancing. I have one
Oh,
song that'll get me dancing, regardless of where and what and everything else. And it's
I
blame it
I
on the
need to find out what song
it's
that is so I can see you
blame it
dancing next time we meet it up.
blame it on the boogie. Blame it on the boogie.
Ah,
Jackson 5.
excellent.
It's
I'll
just one
play
of
that
those
next time.
songs. And I
we
mistakenly
were.
said that to the daughter of the bride, who was one of the bridesmaids.
Uh huh.
And like literally seconds later, they played it. And I'm like, damn. Damn. So yeah, good fun. But other than that, work has been extremely busy. And yeah, it's coming up to the middle of the year already and end of financial year, and we're going to ramp up for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and then it's just going to supposedly slow down, but I don't think there's any signs of it slowing down at the moment. So
That's
yes,
crazy, yeah. End of financial year is always a crazy time of year.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
So the news, I suppose. There's an update coming. There's been stuff posted about the update. It's due very soon, or some of you already got it. There's been a few videos released.
It's rolling out as we talk.
Yeah, it's rolling out as we talk and as this is being released. I think one of the most important parts of the update is Fingersoft trying to get us to play a little bit more adventure, which is
That
always
is
good.
definitely the key.
We're here till Thursday. So yeah, they've introduced a collectible along the adventures, which is really cool. It's amongst more than one track,
I
and
think there's 4 tracks in total so far.
yeah, I think they're going to change week by week or month by month, I reckon.
Yeah.
And it's a random set of 4. It's not just the first 4 or the second 4, whatever. So,
Mhm.
but the one thing about them is the keys are precariously placed in places which you would usually miss them.
Avoid. Yeah.
Yeah, because of where they are, etc. And I found out they don't react to the magnet. You actually have to hit them to collect them. So yeah, it's very interesting. I've had a couple of rolls. I've done a couple of runs through forest, and I did a bit with Canyon area. Canyon Arena. Found they were in places that were a bit awkward or tricky to find.
Mhm.
But all nonetheless, it's another facet of the game, which is made me want to play adventure again, I suppose. Pete, have you had a chance to have a play with it at all?
I've only done Forest, and I've only had one solid crack at it.
Yep.
I was using the muscle car because that's just a nice, easy car to use.
Yep.
But yeah, they were hidden in places you wouldn't normally go. And then
How
when you
many?
see it, like, oh, I got to go back.
Yeah. How many
Yeah,
keys were you able to collect in one run?
I think it was 8 in one run.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, I ended up
And
getting a
what are
22K run on that particular run.
and what are the keys for?
So yeah, it's a month-long chest that runs the same as the daily grind or the grind for cups. And you can build it to certain levels, and when you get to a certain level, you've collected so many keys, you can open the chest, and it gives you an option to pick what car you want the chest for, which is really good, especially if you're building GP.
Mhm.
So yeah,
How many? Can you pick any car you want, or
no, it gives you a choice of 3 different chests for 3
ah,
different vehicles.
oh, cool.
Mm.
So yeah, that's a bit of fun.
Yeah, so
Um,
vehicle specific chests. That's pretty good.
yeah, vehicle specific chest, which you can usually buy out of the shop with gems if you wanted to. Um, so yeah, it's interesting ploy to get us to play adventure, which is good. And look, at the end of the day, all facets of the game are. There are people that play all facets of the game, and there are people that just play adventure. So good luck to the guys who just play adventure. They've got more reasons to play now, which is great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And for those of you looking for reasons to play adventure because they think it's boring, I think you now have something more to do than just grind kilometers.
Yeah. I heard you say before that you had it on the Canyon Arena.
Yep,
Um, what happens if you don't have that map unlocked yet? Does it just go to a different map,
not sure,
or do you just miss out?
not sure. I've actually got it on Skyrock Outpost as well, so I've got it across 5 maps.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, let's have a quick check of notes. I'm just logging in now. I've got it on Forest
yep,
and Winter,
yep,
Backwater Bog,
yep,
and that's all I've got. Oh no, Canyon Arena. It is there,
yep.
but I just haven't unlocked it.
And Skyrock Outpost.
Mm.
And Skyrock, yeah.
Ah, cool. There
Mhm.
you go. So it's the same.
Yep. Same.
Interesting. Alrighty. Well, that's kind of the new news. The other part of the update is the new cup called Night Drive Cup. I have failed to finish either one of the cups so far in the 3 or 4.
Every time I've tried it, I have failed
Mhm.
at least 2 out of the
Yep,
3 tracks.
yep. They look to be quite a bit of fun, quite a lot to learn, and some quite big air in the maps, which is good.
Mhm.
Um, I know I was speaking to Pete the other day about this. Um, if that's the case, if there is a night drive cup, then hopefully soon there should be a night drive extra
Adventure.
track for adventure.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's going to be a special map, not a
Mm.
standard map,
Oh. Yeah, with
because
special tickets.
yeah, with the special tickets, because
Yeah.
I think it's the cups themselves seem to be a bit hard.
Mhm.
So I think
Mm.
the actual adventure track is going to be a bit hard.
Mhm.
And I love those special maps.
Mhm.
I think they're a whole lot of fun because it's not just grinding for kilometers; it's getting to the next obstacle and working out how to get past the next obstacle, which is really cool. So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let's see what happens next.
Yeah, let's see. It might be like a special one, like the Skyrock Outpost is.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Pete, what about yourself? What have you got for us?
Okay, I'll start off with public event. Public events, the current ones that we're doing is red car can't jump. Oh, sorry, that was last time. Red car can't jump, and that was a kangaroo event.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
current one,
sad. I missed that one.
oh no. The current one is called Water Run 14 hours. So it's just called 14 hours. Not really sure why, but it's all water runs, and I think there's 4 or 5 tracks available. Most common vehicle is the snowmobile, but I see others using both the hot rod and the super diesel. So there's different strategies for those two vehicles.
The cheaters, you mean?
No, they're not cheating. They're just good with Kanga.
No. A couple of people have been using the superbike as well for those.
Yeah. So there are certain like routes you can take, but I'm not bothered to learn them. I just stick with my snowmobile because I quite enjoy skimming over the top of the water.
Yeah, likewise, I enjoy the practice that you get because you don't get that often to practice the water jump ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of practice, the last week's team event, there was a practice track in this public event, and it was number 2.
yeah,
Water
yeah,
run
yeah.
number 2, yeah. It's
Yep.
just different terrain. It was a sandy terrain instead of snow.
Instead of
But
snow, yeah.
the map was the same.
Yeah, identical. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's all for public events. Did you guys want to add anything?
No, I'm fine.
No? All right, on to team events. So far, I'm still running the old low-hanging fruit on both accounts, so I don't really know much about the next one. That is a 4-track event with 5 vehicles available, and there is track 1 is a time attack. I've been using the super bike with an uphill climb with wings, winter tyres, and afterburner. My best score on that event is a 19.6 seconds with a score of 9,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent and solid run. I was very happy with it.
How repeatable was that?
I was getting average of 8K, 8.5K, but that one was just my best score.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite repeatable once you learn where to land.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
yeah, there's a certain landing on the uphill where you sort of got to try and land on the back wheel and then scoot up and then up to the finish line towards the end.
Yep.
Track 2 is the water track I was just talking about with the snowmobile.
Yep.
My best score on that track was 23.8 seconds with a score of 5,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I was happy with that. I was using afterburner wings and coin boost on the snowmobile.
Okay.
Track 3 is one of the special adventure maps. What's it called? City.
Yeah, the hard city one.
Yeah, Extreme City or something like that. I was using Kanga on the Beast, and I'm terrible with Kanga on the Beast, so I wasn't getting very far. Furthest I got was 396 meters with a score of 3.1K.
Okay,
How did you get
interesting.
that one? Because you're a bit of an adventure player.
Yeah, there's a special trick to getting under the
I, I,
overbridge. So
I
instead of
can't work
going,
that.
sorry,
I can't work out how to do it. I keep hitting my head and then just landing in the water.
yeah, landing in the water. So I've only managed it 4 or 5 times, but you've got to get off the end of the bridge when it's at its lowest,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a little boost from the wheelie, the
wheelie.
inbuilt wheelie boost. Yeah, and it gets you just across that divide. You land just on the bit, and if you do that right and go over the top of the girders at the start, you can do about 500 meters
Without fuel.
with wings, coin, and magnet.
Oh, cool.
I've been
I
doing it
have
with
managed
wings.
to do it about once or twice, but I didn't get over the hill.
Yeah, well,
So,
going under is much easier than going over the top, because if you
yeah.
go over the top, you need to basically mash a girder out the way and then manage to get over the girder the second time.
Yeah.
And I've managed about 450 meters that way, but it's all about getting to the girder quickly. So it's a mad scramble across the top of the girders, not underneath.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I just can't get, like, I get to that girder, but I don't have enough fuel to go back up a second time.
Oh
I
no,
need to move it out of the way.
I get to the girder well before the fuel cut starts out. If I'm
Yeah.
going over the top. So yeah, I usually try 3 or 4 times to go over the underneath, and then in my last ticket I'll go over the top and try and get as far as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I can't work out how to go under, so I just stick with going over. Track 4 is a time attack, and I've been using the bus with thrusters, magnet, and fume boost. The other strategy is replacing fume boost with spin boost.
Yep.
Pretty much the same strategy. It's just you're flipping at the start to get your boost instead of just gliding over.
Yep.
My best is 19.9 seconds for a 7.2k score.
Nice.
That was very nice. And in practice, I think I got it down to 19.2, but no, it's too hard to get it right on the team event. That was a very smooth run.
Yeah, it's a real hit and miss track. It's all about that first landing.
Yeah.
And
you got to sort of land hard to remove one of the passengers when you get that landing.
Oh, not only that, you've also got to run the downhill up to the fuel.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, lots of skill involved in that one, and mindfulness of your fuel tank.
Yes. Enough thrust, but not too much. Yep.
So that's that team event. I'll just quickly touch on the next one. It's called Just Wing It. 4-track event again, and 5 vehicles available, which are tractor, super diesel, monowheel, hot rod, and CCEV. So track 1 is time attack. Track 2 is a wheelie. Track 3 is crushing through, and track 4 is a long jump. I don't know too much about this one because I ran out of time to watch some of the videos, but it looks like a very tricky and low-scoring event.
Surprise.
From what I saw on the couple that I did watch, the pros were only scoring around 23 to 24k at the start.
So we might get in the teens. Yay.
Yes. Only time will tell once I get to the new one after tonight.
Yep, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. And that's all for mine.
Cool.
How about Jack Rabbit? Have you got anything for us today?
Yes. So for my segment tonight, I will be talking about the task This is found on the Cups page. I know this is not something new to the game, but I think this is worth mentioning, especially if you are new to the game and just building your GP. Because as far as I have observed, the tasks on this part of the game are very doable. They won't
Mhm.
take up much of your time, and it's fun, of course. So every day there are 3 tasks, and after completing them, you can do another set of 3 tasks if you watch videos. So I do this every day, because each task gives you rewards and an orange chest that will give you parts. So just a few examples of the task are like you just drive 1,700 meters, or you get airtime with a specific vehicle, do 6 flips or do 5 flips, and most of them also are really 500 meters with some specific vehicle, and win 6 races. So sometimes if you do cups, you know, you the tasks are you are already doing this task while running the cups, right? So it's like hitting 2 birds with one stone. So I think these are very nice to accomplish if you're building your GP and playing the game. So, and I just recorded some of the rewards because I've totaled like 6 tasks in a day, and you will have like for each task you've completed, you will have 100 achievement points, 3,000 coins, and from the chest you will get 2,500 coins, and some common parts and a few rare parts. And when I tallied everything, the total coins that you would get from 6 different tasks in a day is 33,000 coins.
That's quite a
Right? So
big deal, isn't it?
yeah, so imagine adding that to your coins. So if you run it every day, like, it's very helpful. And also the parts, I've tallied them, you will gain around 140 common parts and 14 rare parts. So I think this part of the game is not just enjoyable but also very helpful for those who are just starting the game and building GP.
That's good.
I tend to look at the tasks and say,
Yeah.
can I do more than one at the same time?
I
Mm.
do that too.
Right? Yeah.
Is it
like drive a certain distance with a specific vehicle and then
Mm-hmm.
do 5 flips with the same vehicle. I can
yeah?
do
Yeah.
that in an
I
Yeah.
adventure.
can do that. I can do that all
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but you also get 100 points towards your cups. So you
Oh
travel
yes.
100 points in cups.
Yes, 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 that one too. So you'll really gain a lot from doing the tasks every day.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
good.
That's
That's
very,
good.
yeah,
Helpful. Thank you very much.
helpful for the game.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that we would like to chat about before we bring our guest in?
I think that's about it, to be honest. So maybe we
Yep.
need to introduce our guest.
Yeah, I've unmuted him now, so bring him in.
All right. Well, we need to introduce Just Have Fun, whose name within the game is Moi or Moy. And if you're
Yeah, I
Australian,
say
it'll
Moy.
be Moy, but it's pronounced Moi. He plays on the Jedi Phoenix. He's on their first team, and they bounce around CC and Division 1. Welcome to the podcast, Just Have Fun, or Moi. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am an HCL2 player. I have 10k GP. So as you
Yep.
said, I'm in Jedi Phoenix team. I'm playing this game for 6 years already.
Wow.
I played HCR1 before. It was like 11 years ago when I started
Yeah.
playing HCR1.
Yeah.
And I saw an advertisement in HCR1 about their new game, and I clicked on it and I downloaded it like this.
Yep.
And I discovered a very fun game, HCR2.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all, not everybody did that, but so what was the nicest thing about HCR1? What did you enjoy about HCR1?
I think what I enjoyed the most was because I was playing with a friend on the bus to school. So we were basically, I didn't have a phone, so we were playing on his phone, and we were playing rounds. He was playing a round, then me, then him again, like this.
Just
Yep.
taking it in turns, yeah.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Excellent.
See who could
Excellent.
get the furthest distance, things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Did
Yeah.
you have a favorite vehicle back then?
It was motocross
Really?
in H7. Yeah, I liked doing stunts on the moon map.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yeah, there were
Yep.
very few vehicles at the time, so
Yep. Yeah. I think I was playing HCR1 about the same time you were. When I started, I think there was only about 6 or 7 vehicles as well. Super Diesel was probably the best to go far. Motocross Super Diesel. And yeah, that was the vehicle of choice back in the time to make money, until we worked out that you could do lots of stunts on the moon with the motocross. So I've noticed you have a bit of an accent.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I am from France.
Yep.
I'm a Frenchman.
Yep. And whereabouts in France do you live?
I live in a big city called Lyon.
Lyon. Okay. Beautiful. You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Excellent. We have to ask you about your cheese, don't we?
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later. No. That's fine. So, I mean, that's great. Now you're on Jedi Phoenix. How long have you been on that team? What got you to that team?
Okay. I've been in that team for more than a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yep.
And I've not been in a lot of teams. I came in the team because of a friend of me. It was called Mou. Yeah, Mou and moi, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that friend was in the team, so he made me join. And it's a very friendly team with a lot of French adventure players.
Yep.
So is Moo a real life friend or just a friend you picked up in HillClimb 2?
No, it's a friend I came across on the game.
Okay, cool.
Nice. So I suppose you're saying that the team itself is lots of adventure players, yeah?
Yeah, there are a fair amount of adventure players.
Okay, so I have to ask, what is the average weekly chest in a team full of adventure players?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's not that high. I don't know exactly, but I think it's around 29.
That's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Mhm.
All you need is a level 18 to get the legendary parts, and then everything else is just coins, added
Yeah.
coins. So 29 is 11 more than what you need.
So, were you playing with other teams that were more competitive before, or what? I mean, yes,
Yeah.
you joined them, and they're mainly adventure players. You know, do you still strive in the cups? Sorry, not in cups, in team events, or is it just if you do put a score up, that's fine?
No, the first team which I am in is competitive. Like we are trying. Our goal is to stay in CC division.
Yep.
But as you said, we are bouncing between the division 1 and CC division.
Yep.
But yeah, we are a competitive team, but still having fun.
Yeah. As best as you can, I suppose.
And to answer to your question, I've been in Unity for a month in January 2023, just to see what one of the big guilds are.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a fun
Eye-opening.
experience.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I was in the middle in terms of scores.
Yep.
Like I was in the top 25, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So you did have fun? You just had
Yeah,
fun?
that was fun. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, but I mean, why would you play a game if it's not fun?
No,
Exactly,
for sure,
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
suppose,
exactly.
where did your in-game? Why do you have an in-game name and an out-of-game name? Why the two different names?
Well, JustHaveFun is just a name I chose before the in-game name.
Yep.
It was just a Discord name.
Yep.
But I didn't want to change it because I liked it.
Yep.
And also, yeah, that's the reason.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep.
And moi, can you give us some background to that?
Yeah, so that's a stupid name. I didn't have a lot of inspiration. Like for the context, for the context, I was around 10 years old back then, and my first name was Juste Moi, which means just me. And
Yep.
my thinking process was if one day I become good at the game and I put some nice goals, people will see and say, "Oh, it's just him." So that's it.
That's a good reason. I like that. Who is that on the top of the leaderboard? Oh, that's just me.
Yeah, just me. I suppose it sounds funnier when you say it in French, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I like my name right now. I shortened it to just moi, because I think it's nicer, and also it's confusing because there have been many misunderstandings on Discord because of this name, and it's always funny. I have to say.
Yes. Yeah, people like me calling you Moi.
Oh God, Pete, we need to
Names
culturize
are
you.
they're not my strong point, I must admit.
We need to teach you a few languages, Pete.
Oh, I'd struggle so bad. Believe it or not, I used to study French in school.
Do you still speak
do.
French? Come on, Pete.
Well-
You've opened this door.
My French teacher, Monsieur Dour, he would not let us call him Mr. Dower. It was Monsieur Deux. I always remember that because I used to call him Mr. Dow, and he goes, "No, that is not my name."
So,
So yeah,
come on. You've opened the door.
Bonjour, oui. That's all I got.
Oh, God.
Actually,
Mr. Dower right now is looking down on you going, Pete, shaking his head. I'm actually physically shaking my head. You can't see it, but he's shaking his head at you right now.
Well, he would have called me Pierre.
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
That is French for Peter, after all.
Yes.
I also learned French when I was in college, because I was taking up hotel and restaurant management. So
Mhm.
we had to learn two foreign languages, which is Nipongo or Japanese and French. So
That's a
we
good
had
mix.
so we had a French teacher. She's an older lady, and you have to like how you would entertain guests in a restaurant or hotel if they're French people. But I only can remember one single phrase or a sentence in French. And if I say this, you'll have to edit this out, Eva, because
Come
it's
on,
for.
let us hear it, Jackrabbit.
Do you really want to hear it?
Absolutely, you've talked yourself up. Let's hear it.
Okay, I'll try my best. It's a voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
That's the song lyrics
Yeah,
from
yes,
Moulin Rouge.
yeah, it is. But do you know, Pete, what it translates to?
I forget, but I did know. I
So
can't
what
remember
do you
now.
think? I can't
Because
remember.
it's asking a question. Would you like, or do you
Yeah,
like?
yeah.
But I don't know the rest.
Hmm. We'll
Maybe
have
we
to
can
ask
ask.
the resident Frenchman.
Yeah. How do you translate that in English?
Yeah. Would you like to sleep with me tonight?
That's
the only thing I learned in French class.
not a very good thing for a hospitality person to be asking.
Well, it depends on the sort of hotel you're going to be working at. That's
And this is even before the song came out, okay? Because I was studying my degree back in 1992. So this was that's the only French word that I remember. Okay.
Very
wow.
good, very good.
I feel left out here.
No, you've got a story. You told me the other
Yeah,
night.
you have to have a story.
No, I'm going to stay away from that.
Oh, that was a good story.
I'm trying to remember which story we're talking about.
When you were trying to ask for something and then you started speaking a different language.
I speak whenever I've been to France. I was in France for 8 days, and I drove from Paris to Frankfurt through the Swiss Alps. And I would start speaking. I knew about 4 words in French, and I'd start speaking Italian instead. And most people would, most people in hospitality would respond to me in Italian. So I felt comfortable.
Yes.
We're getting further and further away from this.
Sorry. Yes.
JR, do you have any questions of moi before we go on to the community questions?
Oh, okay. I have a question in mind. Since your account is already on 10,000 garage power, do you have a second account or planning to have a second account?
Yes, I do have a second account,
Okay.
which is at nearly 5,000 garage
Mm-hmm.
power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I'm
which
working
Where
a
is that
bit on
one?
it.
Where is that one?
Um,
What team?
yeah.
It's in EPAD Drivers, which is a team in Division 7, I think, with a lot of retired players from French Power, so that I don't have to worry about playing team events and stuff, doing kilometers, because there's nothing restricting about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
No
Division
pressure.
7 is pretty laid back too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also
What's the name of that account?
It's Lui, which means him.
Me and him.
Oh,
So you've got me and him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that's hilarious. I was going to say
Well
that's the same in Italian, Louis.
Louis.
Yeah, that's Louis is Italian for that guy or him.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. Sorry, Pete. Do you have any
questions
of your own questions?
Just one. Seeing as you're French, you wouldn't, and you speak English quite well. Would you happen to work in hospitality?
No, I don't plan on working in hospitality.
No. Where did you pick up your English?
I'm a computer science student.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how did you pick up your English so well? Did you learn it in college?
I've got some very good teachers during school, during college and stuff. And also, I've studied well, I'd say. And also, I learned a lot from video games, talking with communities, and watching videos in English, some things like that.
Well done.
Yes. Well done.
Your English is way better than my French, that's for sure. Sometimes better than my English.
I'm still working on my accent.
Look, when it comes to an accent, my father lived in Australia longer than he lived in Italy. So over 45 years in Australia, and he never lost his accent. So you have a long way to go if you think you're going to lose your accent. I'm sorry, you just won't.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. I think accents are cute, as long as you are understandable.
Yes.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think for me, the funniest thing that ever happened to me in terms of accent was I was learning Portuguese from an ex-girlfriend in Brisbane, and she said that my Portuguese sounded like I had an Italian accent. So not an English accent, but an Italian accent, which was funny because I studied Italian to year 12 and I speak it fluently. So when I was trying to say Portuguese words, I was saying them with an Italian accent, which was very funny. Because my English is okay, and my Italian is okay, but it was just the way she said it. She goes, "Oh, you have an accent," and I'm like, "Really? I have an accent?" She goes, "Yeah, an Italian accent," and I'm like, "Oh, that's weird." Alrighty, well, should we start the community questions?
Yes, sounds good to me.
Yes.
Sounds good to you? Okay. We have a fair few community questions, which is really good. I really appreciate a few people in the podcast community who have both asked the questions, which is great. But I also want to especially thank JR for moving the questions into one list and culling the questions as well, which is really great. Appreciate your hard work, JR.
Yeah.
So, who wants to start?
Sounds like you want to start.
Okay, I'll start. Fine. Well, I'm going to start from the top. This is from Cascade, who plays on LTR. welcome to the podcast, Cascade. Thanks for your question. What is your favourite adventure map and your favourite Cups map?
Okay, so my favorite adventure map is Countryside. And my favorite cup map is Hubcap Cup.
Hubcap Cup.
Yeah.
Hubcap. I like Hubcap Cup. That's good.
Yeah, there is three good maps.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting mix of tracks too.
Yeah.
Yep. So why Countryside? Countryside,
Yeah.
because Countryside is a real. It's a tough map.
It's bumpy. It's not smooth.
Yeah. What I like about Countryside is the complexity about the terrain. Like,
Yep.
There are always a few different routes you can take to get far. And I really like to learn all the little bumps that nobody really knows.
Yep.
Like I feel most people just go randomly and don't know anything and just try to fly far.
That sounds like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really like.
What is your best distance on that map?
It's 13.3K with tank.
Oh, tank, really?
Yeah,
Tank's
tank
got
is
a
the
good
best.
fuel tank.
Yeah, it's one of the best, if not the best vehicle to get a long distance in this map.
Yeah, right.
Is that using? Let me guess. That's using wings, landing boost, and fume.
Boost.
No, it's using wheeling boost, and cone boost. Yeah.
Coin boost, wheelie boost. I was going to say it's either wheelie boost or landing boost. Oh, very interesting. Very good.
Yeah, I'll be trying that soon, and I'll just outscore you. I reckon. Yep, that's what I'll do.
But I'm not a long distance player. Like I'm more focused on stars.
I am far from a long distance player. I don't think I've even 10K'd that track with a single vehicle.
Yeah, me too. I haven't.
I've gotten very close. I've gotten to 9,100 stars with the rally car. And funnily, the second car on my list is the tank at 7553. So no, very cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
not bad. Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, JR, you're next.
I always ask my first question with a light question. What are your hobbies and interests other than playing HCR2?
Okay, so I like watching movies and YouTube videos. I go to climbing also sometimes.
Rock climbing, was it?
Yeah, it's a gym in it's a gym climbing.
Yeah,
like
it's not
indoors.
Yeah, indoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun sport, I think.
Yeah, I think I've done that before, and it is a lot of fun. Until you're just climbing and climbing, and then you realize how high you've climbed, and you freak out. And
Wow.
yeah. And let go of the wall and hope your friend is holding the rope tight.
Very cool.
That's
Pete?
nice.
Yes, I've got a question here from DeBell, who is another fellow country adventure player. He wants to know, what's it like to have the second most countryside stars?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a troll question because he's the first. He has the best countryside map, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating, of course.
How many stars? How many stars behind him are you?
around around 3,000, I think, because I have 237K and he has 239.6.
Which vehicles are you having trouble with?
Supercar. Yeah, definitely supercar. I have 7.6K with it.
Yeah.
And him and Zorro both have 9.2, I think, 9.1, something
Right.
around it.
Mm.
Right. I
But
see.
yeah, I get it eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you're up, Eva.
It's my turn again. I was just looking at Countryside, and there are people that have gone further with the supercar than DeBell and Zorro. Palmer 2, I don't know whether that's, and
Yeah,
Kahlua.
they are cheaters, hackers.
Of course, the good old cheaters.
Yeah, it's the first map in the game, so it's one of the most hacked map.
Of course. It's always the way. Always the way. All right. Well, I'm. Oh, here we go. I just found you. Ha ha. Excellent.
You found me.
No, I found him.
You found me.
Sorry, I was waiting for that to happen. I lined that up. I lined that up so well.
You did. We just have fun here, don't we?
We do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've actually answered Fiery's question. So, Fiery, you asked how did you come up with your name? We've already answered that question, unfortunately, sorry, but I was going to give Fiery a shout out. He did have a second part question. Who is your HCR2 inspiration and who do you look up to in the community?
Okay, so I think my biggest inspiration is probably Zorro or Linus.
Take that to Bill.
Yeah, not in terms of personality, but in terms of skills, I'd say.
Yep.
Because they are both doing so well that when you look at their gameplays, you think that it's easy. While it's not. But making something hard looks easy means that you're very good.
Indeed. I mean, I must say, DeBell almost does that for me. He makes it look so easy. I get along quite well with DeBell, so I can have a bit of fun with him if that makes sense. JR.
Okay, I have a question here from EVG Plays. He would like to ask you, when did you start playing Adventure?
Yeah, so I started playing Adventure right when I started playing the game. So it was in around October or November of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because you came from HillClimb 1, which is a adventure game. So you already knew how to do it.
Yeah, that's
already had the love for
reason.
it. Yeah. That's good.
That's cool.
I've got a question here from Mbo. He would like to know, will you come back streaming in the future on Twitch, he means? And there's a second one that I'll get to in a minute.
Yeah. I'm not very consistent when it comes to my YouTube channel or Twitch channel, but I think I will stream a bit during the month of June this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that's very close.
Just on a side note, if you have a YouTube channel, can you send me a link to your YouTube channel? Because part of anybody who joins the podcast, I've been following their YouTube channel from our YouTube channel. So
Yeah, I will
it's
send
always
you.
helpful. Yes, please. That'd be great. That'd be great. Sorry, after you,
Yeah.
Pete.
Yeah, the second part of this question is, do you plan on grinding time trial records too after you're done with adventure?
Maybe it's not out of the question.
Have you have you had some training on podcasts, podcast answers from Reese? We'd ask him a question, and the
Maybe.
answer would be maybe.
Maybe.
No, I didn't have any training with him.
No, I'm
Just,
stirring.
Yeah.
I was stirring Reese more than you, to be honest.
Yes.
No, that's all right. This is from Goose.
Big shout out to Goose.
Big shout out to Goose. What is your favourite cheese?
Oh.
A question we've all been looking forward to.
My favorite cheese is chèvre, which means goat in English.
Okay.
It's because it's made from goat milk.
Is it a very salty cheese?
Yes. From my experience, it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit salty, so it's kind of like a feta.
Yeah, I like vocabulary to explain.
So feta is a really soft and very white cheese. It crumbles as you touch it, and it's quite salty.
Yeah,
Or is it?
yeah, I know
Or
feta.
is it like feta though?
I'd say it's more sweet.
Oh,
I don't know what
nice.
to say.
Nice. All right. I'm going to have to find that. I mean, there are some cheeses that I look at and I go, no, I won't go near that. But I like that medium salty flavour cheese. That's nice. JR?
Oh, I would like to make a follow-up question related to Goose's question. What is your favorite type of bread?
Mm.
Yeah, I'd say it's baguette.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's funny because I know English community likes to say baguette to associate it with French people. But
Yep.
yeah, baguette is very, very good. Like, come to France and eat some baguette.
Oh, look, I'll never forget walking around Paris and having a croissant and coffee for €1.50. And the
Yeah.
croissants, you could taste and smell that they'd literally just come out the oven.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was
God.
just
Like it will
yeah.
melt in your mouth.
It
Yeah.
did. It did.
Yeah,
It
right?
did.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was just delicious. And I mean, I ate my way across France. We
One bite at a time.
one bite at a time. We drove from Paris through Epinay and Dole, and a few other places before we got to Switzerland. And we stayed a couple of nights in Epinay. Epinay was fantastic. So yeah, it was just I'm reminiscing of eating my way across France. It was beautiful. Pete, up to you.
Yes, I've got a question from somebody who I haven't seen ask a question before. I think he might be new to the server. I'm going to have a go at pronouncing it. It's a French name. Lele or Lele?
Yeah, Lele.
ESRR. He'd like to know, would you rather have the best countryside map in the world or be the first in French? In commas, I'm French too.
Yeah, I would rather have the best countryside map in the world by far.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because right now I'm ranked third in France, which is solid because the first one is my friend Moo with 4.2 million stars, 4.25 to be exact, and the second one is Yo-Yo 14 with 4.2 million stars, and I have 4.1 million stars.
So not too
Yeah.
far behind. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too far.
You just got to get that supercar and then you'll be right.
Yes.
Mhm. Back to you, Eva.
Sorry, I was just looking at where people are across here. Interesting. Sorry.
Oh,
I
yes,
get
yes. Interesting. I can see.
I-
Yes.
I get very distracted by stats, unfortunately. Okay. We have a question from Sirox, or Sir Ox, if you want to pronounce it properly. Sir
Yep.
Ox, yeah. What is your favorite car in real life?
Yeah. I'd say it's Bugatti Veyron. I don't know.
Oh,
okay.
Bugatti. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the style and the speed.
Style and the speed. Yeah, of course. We don't know, but are you old enough to drive? Do you have a driver's license?
No, I don't have a driver license.
Okay, all right. Okay, so no driver's license. So I was going to ask, if you do have a driver's license, what do you drive? But we can't ask that. So how do you get around without a license?
Yeah, I'm in a big city, so I
Fair
take
enough.
public transport.
Public transport.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I forget about public transport.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
me
been
too.
way too many years that I've not had a public transport thing.
It's very different now.
Yeah, it is very different now. JR?
I have a question here from Cap A, who is one of our avid listeners on the podcast. And he has three questions. So the first one is, why do you play the game? And the second question is, what is one thing you wished was different in HCR2? And this last question, if you could make the biggest merge happen, which teams would it be and why?
Okay. So why do I play the game? For fun, basically.
Yeah.
What's the only thing I wished was different in HCR2? I wished there were more no fuel events in team events and in public events, because it's there are like one every 2 years, I feel. And
Yeah.
if possible,
With the right map, I agree, but usually I can't stand a no fuel event.
yeah, but that's because, for example, there is one in this team event, but it's in special map, so it's quite hard. And I'd like to see more no fuel events in maps like city or forest, countryside. I don't know, but easier maps.
Rust Bucket Reef. That was a good fun one.
Yeah, why
With
not?
the chopper, do you remember that one? And the tank?
Yeah.
Back when they
Yeah, I
had
remember.
tanks in team events.
Yep.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah, that was a good
Yes.
one.
I remember getting that tank to move was always fun. Once you got the momentum up, it was amazing how far you could go.
Yeah, and you could just hold down the accelerator for the start. You didn't die in the tunnels. You just did a
Yep.
quick flip and then kept going.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah.
It was
Indeed.
good fun.
And for the third question, if you could make the biggest merge happen, which teams would it be and why? I think I'd take Discord and PLN Reborn.
Oh, okay.
Poland Reborn. Yeah, because
Why would you
I
mix?
think they are they are the most solid teams in the game. Well, no, there is a Supreme too.
Yep.
So I don't really know their level, but they seem quite strong as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Supreme seem to have a very good mix of very good players.
Yeah.
But
You may
that's
say they
theoretically
aren't
because
supreme with their players.
Oh, Pete.
that's theoretically
It's
because
true.
I don't think Discord would merge with anybody.
Yeah, I think they're quite happy being where they are, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question from NDWG, so I'm just going to say NDOG. How
NDOG.
sick of the game were you after your live stream grinding to Canyoneer?
Okay, so for the context, a year ago, around June 2022, I did a live stream on Twitch to grind Canyoneer on my second account, Lui.
Yeah.
And the concept was, can I get Canyoneer in under 48 hours?
Wow.
Where did you
Yeah, that
start
was
from?
it.
From scratch?
From scratch, yeah. I started
Wow.
from zero start. And I did it. I did it. In fact, I did it in 36 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
How much did you sleep during those
Did
36
you sleep?
hours?
Yeah, that's the question. Did you even sleep?
I slept 7 hours during that 48 hours span.
So, and this actually is interesting that you say this, because the next question I was going to ask is from Castaway Will, who's saying, if you ever created a new account, what amount of garage power do you think you would have needed to get to Canyoneer 1? So how much garage power did you have at this time?
I had 3.3k garage.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't answer the question. So how sick of the game was I? Weirdly enough, I wasn't sick at all. Like I was still hyped about it. And the day after the stream, I still played like 4 or 5 hours on my main account.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's
Wow.
pretty
So, yeah.
awesome. So if GTR, if you're listening, you can get it within 36 hours. You don't have to stop at 9.9999. Just so you know.
Wow. That's amazing. So 36 hours and
Yeah. And
to
I
Canyoneer.
continued to play until the 48 hours were completed. And I did 1.4 million in 48
Stars.
hours.
So you did more stars than my main account in 48 hours with 3,300 GP.
Yeah.
No comment.
So my question is, do you think if you have a third account, you will be able to do the same?
Yeah, I
No,
think I can
are you
do better.
still are you still that driven to achieve that kind of achievement or you'll be
time.
able to do better? Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it, but there is a major issue, which is the token system now.
Yes.
Because
Oh.
back then there was no token, so I could just gain stars and do it. But
Yep.
now, if I wanted to do it again, I would need to play offline to get chests and to get token and maps.
Yeah.
But that would be very annoying to gain chests offline and a lot of chests, because Actually, you'd need like I don't know, maybe 12,000 tokens or maybe more. I don't know exactly, but that's a lot
Yeah.
It is a
to get
lot.
every map.
Yeah.
To unlock every map, yeah.
I
Ooh,
still haven't unlocked
interesting.
the Canyon Arena.
Me too.
I'm at 1,200 or something.
I'm going to bleep that out. I'm going to bleep that out, Pete. I am.
No, don't bleep it out. I don't like the token system. I think it's ruined
No,
adventure for me.
I think it has for a few people, but that's
Yeah.
okay. All right. So, I mean, I did ask Castaway Will's question while you were answering Pete's question, but I figured it was kind of all in the same answer. And 3,300 GP is not a lot, not a lot at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
but
could
to
you
to
could gain that in a
answer,
month. If you really
yeah,
grinded, you could get that in about a month.
Yep. Okay. JR, your question?
There's a question here from Piro. This question is, why do you play this map countryside and not another? But I would like to add, what are your maybe two other favorite maps other than countryside?
okay. So I already said it before, but I like countryside because of the complexity of the terrain. There is no hard stuff, hard obstacles like there could be in Overspill, Funrig.
Mm.
It's just about the terrain and
Mm-hmm.
making use of it
Yep.
and memorizing because
Mm-hmm.
I really like memorizing.
Mm.
And it's a very high skilled map for first map in a game.
It
It
is.
is, yeah, I agree.
It's the first map you unlock, but it's very high skilled cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
There's a
my
few places. Go on.
yeah, my three favorite maps are countryside, I'd say reef, and maybe winter.
Really?
So not
So
forest.
not forest.
Yeah, but
Winter.
Not forest or desert valley.
Yeah. Forest. Oh,
No,
sorry. Winter has that same sort of skill level that you need. There are certain places where jumps you can do once. You can't go
yeah,
back. You've only got one chance of doing it right. And if you screw it
yeah,
up, you have to start
you have to
again.
do some skips.
Yep. Yeah, because I remember when I started grinding, um, winter, when I started playing the game, the reason I didn't get very far is because there was a fuel that I used to miss all the time, and I used to use magnet to get the fuel, not realizing that magnet to get the fuel was a waste because I needed winter tires or something better.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just got better at landing and making that fuel and making sure I hit it and not needing magnet from there on. And I've gotten further, obviously, but it's one of those maps like countryside where you need to memorize the map and also have a fair bit of skills to be able to get to the places you need to. Very interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we skipped Castaway Wheel question about what garage power do I
No,
think I
no,
need.
I asked that
Um,
when you were talking about the live stream, and you
yeah,
said you had 3,300 at the time.
yeah, but I think I could do it with 800 GP.
oh.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, with a few strats like not unlocking every vehicles because once you unlock vehicles, your GP grows a lot because of every part you unlocked.
Yes, yes.
While if you don't buy the vehicle, every parts don't get counted in the garage power.
Yes,
So
indeed.
you just need to buy only the best vehicles at Adventure, and also the vehicles that have the less parts. And that's one way to optimize it.
So what would that 800 GP look like? Which vehicles are your recommendations for first buyers, for people who want to do adventure?
Yeah. Firstly, I don't recommend not growing your GP.
Yep.
Like restricting your GP. I don't think it's a good way to play the game. But we are talking about just doing a stupid record, like optimizing your GP a lot.
Yep.
To get Canyoneer at maybe 800 GP. So if you wanted to do that, I'd say buy vehicles that are good at adventure. So Super Diesel, Rally Car, Dune Buggy. It's probably the best at very low level because
I agree. Yeah, that's really good at low level.
For example, you can do the 10K in forest with every tunes at around 4 or 5.
Yep.
I did it without any part. So it's very good. It's stupid, but it's very good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very good from early on, and when you max it out, it doesn't have a huge difference. I don't think.
Yeah, there is a bit of a difference, but you can still do pretty good with low level.
Yep.
Yeah, but considering other vehicles, it's not as big a difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, the biggest difference is about the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very bouncy if you don't upgrade it. If you're a beginner, I think you should really consider buying suspension upgrades because it's very, very outlooked, or I don't know how to say, underestimated by many beginners. While it's a very useful upgrade to climb the hills better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people think, I need to upgrade the engine and grip and things like that. But the suspension makes a huge difference.
You know, it is important to upgrade suspension in these cars because let's face it, the game is a physics engine, and the cars react just like not so much real cars, but they react to the mods that we do to them. And upgrading suspension is a very important mod.
It's a very underrated mod, that's for sure.
Yep. Well said, Moy.
Okay. Whose turn? Is it my turn?
Yes, I think so.
I've got a question here from TBS. If you could only play one vehicle for a whole week, which car would you choose?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think I'd play Jeep or HillClimber MK1.
Okay.
Because I think it's one of the funniest vehicles in the game. I like to play it with camera.
Yeah, that's my favorite parts as well with that vehicle. So otherwise, it's too slow.
Yeah.
I'm going to also answer that question because I have an opinion on it. If I was to do a whole week with a single vehicle, I'd like to choose Rally Car because it is a good all-rounder for every part of the game, and it is also often used in team events, and I wouldn't be able to go a whole week without running my team events.
That's extremely diplomatic of you, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, we're kind of running out of questions here, but JR,
do.
did you want to roll out the questions for the
Quiz.
Never Have I Ever?
Yeah, hold on. I will just go to the pinned messages. A pinned,
I think we missed a question from Phantom, which is
Well,
yeah,
you can ask
asking-
your own question.
yeah, he's asking how many teams have I been on that I remember of.
Yep.
I've been in about 4 teams, I think. The first one was called La Famille, which is a French team which was in a division. There were no division at that time, and I've been in that team for maybe 2 years. So it was at the beginning of the teams.
Yep.
And then there was a good French player that was in that team that left the team. So a few months after he left, I had no competition anymore. So I decided to leave that friendly team for a more competitive one. And I think I've been in Jedi Phoenix already. And then I left again to see what it was like in another French team, which is called Isatis, which is another good team, good French team, which is about the same level as Jedi Phoenix.
Okay.
And I did just a month there, but I preferred the atmosphere in Jedi Phoenix. So I stayed in Jedi Phoenix after that. And I did, as I said at the beginning, I did a month in the Unity team, which has now merged. But yeah, I did a month at Unity just to see what was the level of the top CC guys.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And it is kind of mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, it was extremely. It was a very good experience. Like I was playing the same team as Agelos, which is, in my opinion, the best team event players in the world.
Yep.
Because he won the TET tournament, like the 2 editions. It's a team event tournament.
Yep.
Which gather every best players, team event players in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, the TET was. I never entered it, but it looked like it was a real tough competition.
Celine did quite well in that.
I participated in the second edition.
So did Swiss Cheese did well too, didn't he?
Yeah. How did you go in the second edition?
I think I made it to the round 3 or 2.
Wow.
I don't remember exactly.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, that was very, very strong players in this competition.
Yeah.
And shout out to my friend Tash.
All right. So
Okay.
this is our fun quiz, moi. This is just for more so just to have a bit of a laugh at the game you play, more than anything else. They're 12 very simple questions, and I don't want you to think too much about them. Just get in and answer them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
We can
go
start?
for it. Yeah, you can start, JR.
Yeah, the name of this quiz is Never Have I Ever HillClimb Racing 2 Edition. So 1 point for each one that you have never done before. So the first question is, have you ever missed a team event?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. Have you ever hated a public event?
Hated?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them actually.
Okay. Okay. You're not the only one. Okay, next question. Have you ever picked an easier map for the boss level?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Have you ever scrapped legendary parts before X's?
Um, yeah, at the beginning of the game, I think
Mhm.
I scrapped fuel boost on snowmobile, like
Yeah.
a few of them. But
Mhm.
now it's level 3, and I kind of regret it.
Mm. Okay, so next question. Have you ever used up all special tickets on one single run?
Yeah, multiple times. I'm a big ticket user.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever had a perfect 40K score?
No, my biggest score was 39.6, I believe, in a
Oh.
4 track event.
So close.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
must say, I reckon that's almost half a point.
Mm, almost half a point.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next. I don't know if it will apply to you. Have you ever fallen asleep while grinding adventure maps?
No, never.
Never. Okay. Have you ever taken a long break from playing HCR2?
Yeah, at the very beginning, in 2018, I think I did
Mhm.
a 6 months break.
Mhm. Okay.
But
And
then never again.
never again. Yeah, yeah. Okay. The next question is: have you ever raged quit at some point in time?
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay. Have you ever kicked a team member by accident?
No, and it's one of
No.
my fears.
Okay. Have you ever banned someone from a team server?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And the last
I
question.
think
Okay. You have?
yeah.
Yep. And the last question is: have you ever done a face reveal on any Discord server?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
All right. So I've tallied up the scores in my spreadsheet. I'm very good with spreadsheets. You have scored a very credible 4, which is one less than the people who beat you. So our best score so far is 3, which is an equal tie with Sirox and Kevin. So unfortunately, you haven't won. But even though if you had won, you wouldn't have won anything because there's no prizes for this. We just do it for fun. So congratulations. Welcome to the very elite company of people who have taken this Never Have I Ever quiz and won nothing. So very,
Yeah, I'm
very
honored.
elite. Very, 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 very elite.
yeah.
4 is a really good score. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, no!
Yeah.
4 is a very, very good score. So
Mhm.
there's only a couple people that have actually had a 40K score. Mbao was one of them. So anyway, so that kind of brings us to the end of the recording. Do you have any people that you'd like to say hello to or shout out to?
Yeah.
Fans, the people, your other teammates, people like that.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to a few people. So, firstly, Moo, which is my best friend, I'd say, in HCR2. Also, Flo, which is another very good friend. Also, all the guys in my server, Adventure French server. There are a lot of names, so I won't say them all. So I won't forget anyone. And yeah, also a
You
shout out
want?
to my mom who gave birth to me.
Oh, oh, that's sweet. That's very sweet. So that kind of leads us to the end of our podcast recording. I'd like to say thanks to moi. So I'm going to say thanks to myself for being on the podcast. Yeah, see, I'd lined that up from the start. I knew I was going to do this. So anyway, I'd like to say thanks to you. We
What about
really
him?
and him too. So moi and Louis both welcome. Thank you. We really appreciate people who have, English as a second language coming onto the podcast, sharing their experiences about the game. We know it's harder for people to do that, and we really appreciate that and your time and your sense of humor as well. So thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for sharing your journey. And I'd also like to say it's been great to have you on, and look forward to maybe playing on one of your teams one day, because I'm gonna have a bit of fun with my my main account very soon. I'm gonna start traveling around and just doing a couple of weeks with teams all over the world. So it should be fun. So JR and Pete, your last words for the episode?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks for jumping on and sharing your story. It's been good to get to know you. And yeah, just thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here talking with you.
Likewise.
And thanks for accepting me.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, we're glad to have you on the podcast. I would like to thank all our listeners for the podcast. We've come a long way, especially to those who listened and to those who will be listening. To those who listened to the previous episode that we released, episode 31, it's a very special, it's very close to my heart because it's the first episode that I hosted. I was the main host for that episode, and there were a lot of good feedback.
There
Thank
were
you very
lots
much.
of good feedback from that episode.
Yes,
Everyone's
thank you.
saying how good you were as a host. So well done.
Yes, and thank you for listening and thank you for expressing your feedbacks because it's important to us hosts. And we strive to make the podcast better and to get meaningful and good guests to the show. And we're all doing this for you, and we're all doing this for fun. So thank you so much.
Great
And
words.
one final thought from moi. Thank you to our community members who always ask all the questions. Without you guys, we wouldn't have much of an episode. So
Yes.
thank you to all the community members who show up every week and ask their questions.
Alrighty. Well, thanks very much, everybody, for listening. Thanks very much for tuning in and commenting on the podcast YouTube channel, or just being part of the community. Have a great couple of weeks. We should be back soon with another guest and some more information on this game. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.